Today we are going to learn about that how oxygen is manufactured. As we know, atmospheric air contains 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and rest are the other gases like argon, carbon dioxide, water vapor, etc. So how oxygen is manufactured in an industry? See, basically, it involves several processes before the liquefied air moves into the distillation column for its separation into its respective components like nitrogen, oxygen, and argon. So, how the separation, how is it liquefied, how everything is occurring? Let us try and understand with the help of this easy flow sheet. So, we have this flow sheet. This is the flow sheet which will make you easily understand about the manufacture of oxygen. First of all, the air is sent to the set of air filters. Now these air filters make the air free of impurities. Whatever particulate matters are present in the air has to get rid of them because the particulate matter or the other impurities will clog down the pipeline. Are you I hope you are understanding it. So we do not want our industrial piping system to get clogged down by the impurities. Okay? So this thing has to be kept in mind. So purified and filtered air is used. Then the filtered air is sent to the compressor. Now in the compressor there is a piston which will pressurize the air. When the piston will pressurize the air, then the air will get warmed up. Okay, because the molecules will come closer to one another. That is why the air will get warmed up. The air which we get from the discharge valve will definitely be warmer than the air which is entering the compressor via the inlet valve. Okay, then the air passes to a freezing unit. Now this freezing unit contains a heat exchanger. Now what are heat exchangers? Heat exchangers are nothing but an equipment which basically exchanges heat. Okay, if we want to cool something, if we want to heat something up, then we use heat exchanger in an industry. Okay, as a refrigerant we can either use liquid nitrogen or liquid ammonia as per the requirement of the industry, as per the availability of the industry. So in this flow sheet we have liquid nitrogen, and whose temperature will be definitely very less than its boiling point, which is minus 196 degree Celsius. Liquid nitrogen cools the atmospheric air, and now the temperature of the atmospheric air is minus 200 degrees Celsius. This cold compressed air will now pass on to a separator. Now, why is separator required? You may ask that we have already filtered the air, so why do we need a separator? See, separator is required because we do not want carbon dioxide. Okay, so carbon dioxide needs to be separated out as dry ice. So in the separator we have set of adsorbents which just make the air free from carbon dioxide. Now, this air which is now free from carbon dioxide needs to be liquefied. Still the air is in gaseous form. It needs to be liquefied so that it can be further separated into its respective components. So this air will pass now to an expansion turbine. Here the air gets liquefied. This liquefied air will now pass on to a distillation unit. Now in a distillation we make use of the principle of relative volatility. That is, there are too many components in the air like nitrogen, argon and oxygen, and all the three components have different boiling points. That is, at different temperatures they'll start boiling and then they'll start forming their own vapors. Okay, so in the nitrogen, the boiling point of nitrogen is minus 196, that of argon is minus 186, and that of oxygen is minus 185 degrees Celsius. So first, as we warm up the distillation unit, first the nitrogen vapors are formed and they are again passed out from the distillation unit from the upper stage. Then argon vapors are formed, and then we collect the argon from the middle of the distillation column, and similarly liquid oxygen is also taken out from the bottom of the distillation column. Here we have only one distillation unit, but if you talk about that on an industry level, then the industries always contain 2-3 distillation units in series, because we want our nitrogen, argon and oxygen to be 99.9% pure, because they have to be used, because even oxygen has to be used for medicinal purpose. Okay, so we want our elements to be 99.9% pure. Then you may ask that how are they transported? Yes, for easy transportation, basically they are transported in their liquid form itself. Oxygen, nitrogen, and argon all are stored in the cylinders and transported in their respective unit industries wherever required, because all the three elements have their extensive usage. Okay, now always you must have read in the newspapers that the word cryogenic is very common, because now we have to deal with the air, now we have to deal with the gases which have to be handled at very very low temperature. Okay, so always cryogenic is nothing but it means that anything which has to be handled at very low temperature, say between minus 150 to minus 273 degrees Celsius. So at that low temperature, whatever is handled, if we are handling something or storing something, so we use all the term cryogenic. Okay, so this is a cryogenic oxygen tanker. Now you may wonder that oxygen, nitrogen or argon, all the three elements have to be stored at a very low temperature. So it's actually important that the material of construction of the cryogenic tankers are way different than the regular tankers. Okay, they are not made up of steel, they have a different designing setup. And if you want to know more about the cryogenic designing, I have put the link in the description below, you can just refer to it. So this was all about the manufacturing of oxygen, and see you in the next video now. Thank you for watching.